So you've just got your Sony A7S III, charged the battery and put on the lens, but now you're thinking, what next and how do I get the best possible video out of this amazing camera? Hey there, I'm Jason Roberts, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your A7S III to get the absolute best possible video quality, how to shoot video with low noise, and also how to capture detail in the dark and light areas, and also how to start editing your A7S III video files. By the end of this video you'll have your camera completely set up and you'll be ready to go and shoot your first project. After you've attached the lens, inserted a charged battery and put in a memory card, turn the camera on and open out the screen. Then go and turn the control dial around until you get to movie mode. Press the menu button. The first thing you're going to want to do is decide on if you want PAL or NTSC frame rates available to you. For example, if you set the camera to NTSC, you can choose 24, 30, 60 or 120 frames per second. If you set it to PAL, you can choose 25, 50 or 100 frames a second. The available frame rates will also depend on other settings, but don't worry about that for now. If this sounds a bit like gibberish to you and you're not shooting a project for a specific client or a client that has specific frame rate requirements, just go and set the camera to NTSC and choose 24 frames per second. The next thing you need to do is choose what kind of video file will be saved to the memory card. You can choose to shoot in HD resolution or 4K resolution. HD will be easier to edit if you don't have a powerful computer, but 4K will give you crisper looking footage. HD files will be smaller, 4K files will take up more space on the memory card. 4K files will let you zoom in a little bit during editing without losing as much video quality. You also need to choose how the video file will be compressed in the camera. XAVC HS will write smaller video files, but they'll be a lot harder to edit unless you've got a powerful computer. XAVCS will create larger files, but they might be a bit easier to edit. XAVCSI will create big files, but they'll be the easiest to edit with. To start off, we're going to set this to XAVCS 4K. Remember that there's a lot of different things to think about when choosing these settings, and this is only a beginner's video. As you become more experienced and learn more, you may need to go and tweak these settings. Next, in movie settings, set the recording frame rate to 24p. This means 24 frames per second. Next, in the record setting menu, choose what quality you want the video to be. 100M means 100 megabits for every second of video you record. 60M means 60 megabits per second. 100M will create larger video files that will be harder to edit on your computer without using something like proxies, but that's another discussion for another video. The numbers after the M dictate how much colour information will be stored. Choosing 422 10-bit will give you the absolute best colour data in the video file, but may be extremely hard to edit on your computer. 4208-bit might not be as hard to edit on your computer, but you might not be able to edit the colours quite as well. Because we're setting the camera up for maximum image quality in this video, we're going to choose 100M 422 10-bit colour. There's a few different ways the camera can record colour and brightness information into the video files. In this video we're going to set up the camera to be able to record the maximum range of dark to light information. Head to the exposure colour menu and choose Color Tone. Under Picture Profile, choose PP8 and tap OK. This will set your camera up to use something called S-Log3. When you set your camera up to use S-Log3, it's going to record a flatter, low contrast looking video file that you can then bring back in the editing to really get the maximum dynamic range out of the camera. I'll show you how to do this later in the video when we come to look at editing. Because S-Log3 will look flat in the monitor, to get a better idea of what the final video will look like, head down to the Setup menu, choose Display option, and turn on Gamma Display Assist. Now the monitor will look a bit more normal. This doesn't affect the recorded video file, it's just to help with monitoring. Next we're going to look at exposure and metering. Under the shooting menu, shooting mode setting, set the exposure mode to manual and hit OK. Change the ISO to 640 and then set the shutter speed to 1/50th of a second. You can now change the aperture until the meter reading says about plus 1.7. This means we're overexposing what the meter thinks we should do by 1.7. The reason for this overexposure is to get the best noise performance from the PP8 S-Log3 setting we chose earlier. Your lens might also have an aperture ring on it. Setting this to A will let you control the aperture with the camera dial. Now press the FN button and choose white balance. You can choose a manual one such as daylight if you're shooting outside and it's sunny. You can also set this to AWB, which means auto white balance. Using this setting, the camera will try and guess what the white balance setting should be. Ideally though, you want to use a manual setting. Because in the studio here I'm using daylight balanced lights, we're going to set this to daylight and hit OK. Now just choose whether to use manual or autofocus on your lens and press the record button to start shooting. Because we chose S-Log3 Picture Profile 8 in the settings, we're going to need to make a few tweaks to the video before it will look its best. So once you've imported the video file from the memory card onto your computer, open up your editing software. You can then go and add the video clips to the timeline. You now need to make the S-Log3 footage look normal. To do this, we're going to use a Sony LUT or LUT. I'll put a link to this free download in the description below. Once you've downloaded this LUT file onto your computer, for example in Premiere Pro here, select the clip, go to the color workspace and choose the LUT from the Lumetri color panel like this. Notice that when we do this, the video file starts to look normal again. If your computer is not powerful enough to play back this video, you might need to use a proxy workflow. Proxies are basically lower resolution versions of the video file that you can work with during editing. Don't forget to check out the links down in the description for more videos I've done on the Sony A7S III. If you found this video helpful, I do lots of tutorials on this channel related to Sony cameras, filmmaking gear and film editing. If that's something you might find useful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. See ya!